What's up guys, Junior here with NA Mustangs, bringing you back another video. For today's video, we're finally going to be installing the Snow Performance Meth kit. I've had this kit for probably like 5 months, just sitting there in my garage, just because, I mean, we've had other things going on, working on different things. So we're finally going to be installing it. I say we, I mean, I'll probably just assist Alex, he's probably the one that's going to be doing everything, which there he comes right now. So starting with the kit, so we have the stage 2 Snow Performance kit. So obviously it comes with the reservoir, the pump, and this is the best part, the little gauge. So obviously the gauge pod is from Autometer, so I got the steering column gauge pod since I do already have 3 gauges on the column gauge pod, so I can't include another one there because I'd have to get rid of the ones I have. And then I did get their boost juice. I have 4 of the 1 gallons. Obviously I just have one right here right now because I don't think it all fits in here. So I guess follow along. We've never installed this kit before, so obviously we're going to do some troubleshooting and then we'll do clips here and there of what we did. We are also going to be doing some Autometer gauges. So I did get a wideband and a water temp one. So there's the Autometer wideband and then a nice Autometer water temp, so it's just the intercooler, the heat exchanger temperature. I do have those 2 gauges in the car already. They're just Equus. Obviously they work, but they're not fancy, nice, accurate. And the air fuel ratio one that I have in there right now is in a wideband. And in order to get, obviously we're gonna throw the Meth kit on it, see if I can tell the difference with it. And then I am gonna get it tuned by VMP. And in order for me to get it tuned by VMP remotely, I need a wideband. And then I do already have the SCT tuner. And I'm gonna also have to get the analog plug so we can hook up the wideband to the tuner so we can read the measurements off the wideband, not the stock O2s, because obviously the SCT tuner plugs into the OBD and that reads off the factory O2 sensors and you can't read wideband wise. So we're going to be doing all that and I guess follow along.
Welcome to another video guys. So today we're going to be installing this Snow Performance methanol injection kit on a Mustang. It's going to go on this Mustang right here. And the main thing is to figure out mostly where the tank and pump is going to be placed in the trunk, just because there's no room inside of the engine bay. Together with that, we're going to set up the controller, which is this gauge here, with a bunch of wires, which we have to figure out where to run the line that goes all the way from the trunk to the front, and everything in between that. In addition to that, then we're going to be doing these gauges here, which is a wideband air fuel ratio gauge and a temperature gauge. So those will kind of be after we do the Snow Performance methanol injection kit. So stay tuned. I'm going to try to be as sterile as I can on the installation, and then what I'm going to get started with here now is cutting a template out of cardboard, just so I know kind of where to mount that reservoir, because I think I'm going to build something out of metal. We'll see how that works out, but I'm going to cut this out and then measure in the car and see how it looks. Alright, so I went ahead and cut this template out of cardboard. You know, just cardboard, that way you can cut or, you know, change it or anything, and then once you're kind of happy, then you can cut it out of metal. This is the piece that I cut out of metal. You know, I just transfer over from my template. I drew where I was gonna have it bent. So this is, I'm gonna say probably about a 1/16 of an inch, a little bit thicker metal. I'm not sure what the gauge is, but I cut it with my plasma cutter, and then I did kind of cut a few kind of strips here where I was going to bend and make it easier. I'm going to weld these back, and I drilled some holes for the mount, so let me show you. Now this is going to depend on your vehicle. If you have room to mount this kit inside of your engine bay, then you can do it there. A lot of people mount the or use the windshield washer reservoir as the reservoir for the snow performance instead of putting their own kit. So there's different ideas. This is just what I came out with. So this is going to mount right over here. There's a couple of bolts. Actually, let me get a flashlight here. All right, so this is here on the trunk passenger side. So this is gonna mount right in here. There's a couple of studs there for the trunk latch. So I'm gonna mount it to there. And then with that being there, the reservoir is gonna go right here. The pump's gonna mount from the bottom, right underneath. And so that's gonna hold it in there, you know, kind of keep it separate. He wanted to mount it where the spare tire goes, which, you know, that's okay. But this car does have the airlift system in here, and when I did that system, as you can see, the only thing that you see in the trunk here, you have all the room in the trunk. The only thing in there is that tank, you know. Back there, I did a custom sub box, so there's a subwoofer in there, and then the compressor is right in there. But you can still lift up your mat here, get to your spare tire if you need it. You know, you never know when you'll need it. And so instead of getting rid of the spare tire, I figured that, you know, do this bracket here. It's still going to be out of the way here on the side, so, you know, whatever he needs to put in here on the trunk. There's still room in here. He can still lift up this piece and get the spare tire if he needs to. So, you know, that's just an idea. Obviously, you know, everyone's gonna be different on what exactly they want to do with that. So I'm gonna massage this bracket a little bit here. Like I said, the pump is gonna go right under here, mounted right here, and the reservoir is gonna go right in here. And this is gonna put the reservoir right pretty much level on the top of the trunk, where, you know, you can get to the cap easy. But I'm gonna, you know, clean up this bracket here a little bit, cut a little bit here off the back, and just grind it down and get it ready for some paint. I am gonna put the screws for the pump here on top, and I'm gonna weld them, and that way you don't have to be holding it with the wrench. And then the nuts for the reservoir here, I'm gonna weld the nuts to the back, and also that way you can just screw in the reservoir on there. You don't have to hold the nuts on the back. So that's what I'm gonna do next. And then once I get that done, I will start by, I do have to run that hose all the way in, so I'm gonna have to take the you know, the little trim here on the bottom off. We're gonna run the small hose here on the inside, you know, where it's not gonna get pinched or anything. That's where I ran the airlift line as well. So we're gonna do the same thing. I'll probably have to take that bottom seat down off. And then the other thing that we're gonna have to do once we do that is start taking the steering column plastic pieces off to mount that gauge and everything on there. So once I get to that point, I'll show you guys what I'm doing. All right, so this is the finished bracket here. I just went ahead and, you know, gave it a little spray paint of black. So as you can see, I did weld the nuts here on the back. So that way I can just, you know, screw in the reservoir from the front. And then I put this, the bolts, I welded them on top. Also just that way we just put the nut on the bottom. Alright, so I got the pump mounted. This is how it's gonna go. Reservoir mounted. I got some washers there on the bolts. I did the sensor ground here to this bolt. The pump ground is going to be installed to the top bolt that mounts pretty much to the body up here. So I got this all set up, and then the line's just right there from the reservoir to the pump. I do have to give it some time for the glue to set. So per the instructions, it says not to use any thread sealant on any of these threads because the methanol will eat through the thread sealant. So they include this tube of super strength adhesive. Alright, so there's the mounted reservoir with the pump there on the bottom. So I'm just gonna start plumbing everything. So you can get to your cap here, take it off, fill it, keep your cap back on there, and the trunk clears the cap here, so you're good to go there. And that's even though he has this little cover here, which sticks out about 1/2 inch lower. If you just have your regular trunk, then you don't have no problem with that interfering. So up to the taking the seat off and then the seal plate. All right, so this is all taken care of now. I did go ahead and run that data logging cable in here, and I left it here because this is where he keeps this controller. So data logging cable's here. If he doesn't want to connect it, just put it under the dash mat. But I'm pushing unnecessary buttons here. But this is all set. Gauges are done. This is what it looks like. So you got the Snow Performance one. This still has to be set up. I really don't know the ins and outs of it, but it has instructions how to set it up, when to perch and all that. We got the temperature, which is reading, and then the wideband, which I already started the car. It does work good. So everything, this is a little bit hard to get back. This back piece, I should have filmed it, but what I did is I put it in through this side and just kind of squeeze it in the back, and that worked pretty good. And then I just run all the cables for the air fuel ratio down here. It's to the sensor. Now if you have a factory car, you do have to remember you have to weld a bung to it. They do sell some that are they have like a big old hose clamp that you clamp to there with a gasket, but I don't know how durable that would be. So if you don't know how to weld, maybe get that bung welded before you get it installed. But just run the cable down there, connect it, make sure it's not touching anything, and then I just put a couple of zip ties on this cable here, tucked it all in to that sensor for the intercooler temperature. That's pretty much it at this point. We still have a couple things to finish. We got the tank here. There's no leaks. Already checked that, and we already checked the perch. So this is the little nozzle. I am waiting on the piece that, since this is really thin plastic, it's like two nuts with the hole in the middle with the threads for this. So waiting on that to install that. So hopefully that'll get in tomorrow, and then that'll be the final thing and be ready to go. All right, and that's pretty much the end of the install. So this is the plastic piece that it has a nut on the other side, just to make it a little bit more threads for the nozzle. Went ahead and put it right next to the intake, which they say within 6 inches of the throttle body, and we got the hose there, so everything's good to go. Pretty basic install. The hardest part is running your hoses and all your wires, so everything came out pretty good. The trunk and everything, nothing leaking, and then the gauge up front, so that looks pretty nice. Next step from there is just pretty much to get it settled, dialed in, how much you want to spray, when you want it to spray, things like that. So you kind of have to figure that out yourself. If you want it to spray at how many pounds of boost, so on and so forth.
Guys, so install is all done. Car is a little dirty, so ignore that a little bit. I just took it out for a drive. I will say I didn't think I was gonna be able to tell the difference, but it really, you can tell. I mean, it pulls definitely harder. I do have the wideband on there as now as well, and it definitely did make a difference there. So I do need to get it tuned because it is running a little rich now. I gotta say, worth it. Definitely worth it. I've been having this kit for a while, and finally, thanks to Alex, got it installed. So as you saw in the video, he filmed some clips here and there. So here's the nozzle, and then I'll put all the parts somewhere below. We did order this part separate just because I can, and the plastic is a little thinner, and we didn't want to throw it onto there and it shooting out or something. So they do sell this. We did put some of the silicone they provide you with on there, so we need to let that dry. I just kind of drove it a little too soon, but so lines ran through the fender here, the liner inside the cars you saw, and then Alex actually fabricated a custom bracket for the tank. As you can see here, so the pump is below it, tank is on there, so it's just a metal. Pretty much we reuse the trunk studs, you can say, I guess, the bolts that go through. So we just bolted it up to there, and it's free, so you can still access your trunk, all that good stuff. I did a couple pulls. I still have almost a full little tank left. I guess we'll see how often I have to fill up the little tank. I'll keep you guys posted on that. But other than that, I'll show you guys the controller as well. So it is pushing 10 pounds of boost at the moment. So I have it to start spraying at 2 pounds of boost currently. And then it's gonna do full spray after 7 pounds. So that's where I have it set at currently. So here's the little tuner. Obviously instruction, I'll tell you how to mess with it. The pod is from Autometer. I'll include the part number below. And then we did do the Autometer water temp gauge, which is for the heat exchanger for the supercharger, and then we have the wideband. So in order to get VMP to tune it remotely, I had to get a wideband. I'm after data log, so obviously I have the SCT tuner. I did have to get the analog plug for the SCT. I'll put the part number below as well. So that's wired into the wideband, ready to go. So it's ready to get tuned. So I'm gonna go with VMP Performance. The pulley is from them. They're the only people that offer the smaller pulley for the M90, Roush M90s. So I'm gonna go ahead and go with them. So we'll do a separate video on the tuning. And well, as always, thanks for watching. And then we do have another surprise coming through. We're gonna try after this video, we're gonna try to upload a video a week. And what we're planning on doing, Alex did make a separate channel, so NA Mustangs is gonna kind of stick to mine. We'll still do his cars, but it's gonna be kind of just content, quick, you know, fun to watch kind of videos. Whereas if you want to watch more in detail, fuller videos, I'm gonna send you over to his channel. So it'll be the same video. So he filmed part of this. He didn't do it as in detail as he'd wanted to, but he went more into details than as my video. My video is just kind of like, hey, we're gonna install this, and then just kind of show what we did, how it went, kind of situation. For his, he's actually gonna show what he did and stuff like that. The reason why he didn't do a full and detailed video for this is because obviously I already had the gauge spot and different. I had Equus gauges before, so he just kind of tapped into some of those wires. So it wouldn't benefit a few people are watching this, because if you were doing it, you would have to start from scratch, and we didn't. The only thing when we started from scratch was a wideband, so we had to run all the wires to the O2 sensor, stuff like that. So that, I think he filmed some of that. But that's why that one isn't as detailed. But other than that, other videos we do, like the Fox body, I do have a full in-depth, or he does, install video, and it's, I think when I edit it, it's like an hour long. So what I'm planning on doing is we're probably gonna do another maintenance thing on the Fox body. The electric fan controller went out on it, so we need to swap that out. So I'll do a video on that. And the full install video on the brakes, I'll probably have him upload that on his channel, and then we'll do a quick, you know, synopsis, I guess you can say, review on the brake, stuff like that. And if you really want to watch how to install it, you can go watch his video. So his is, I believe his channel is under his name. I'll do the link below, or I'll do the card above. So we'll get that going. So from now on, I guess if you want to watch just kind of updates on cars, stuff like any of our cars, both his and mine, so it's not going to just be my cars. Just quick, fun to watch, quick videos. You can stay subscribed, you know, don't unsubscribe, don't do that. But if you want to go subscribe to his channel as well, I'll link them down below. So it'll be more full, in-depth, detailed. I didn't want to just do all of them on this channel, just because some of the videos were getting long. I do have some on the queue right now that I've edited, and they're pretty much almost an hour long. And I know personally, me, sometimes I watch just 10-minute short videos during lunch or something at work. So it's just quick synopsis videos, updates. So I'd rather watch that personally, so I think that'd be better. So if you want to keep watching just quick synopsis update videos, you know, just installs, like I do have something else coming for the Roush here soon. I picked it up today, so stay tuned for that. So it'll be quick, you know, videos, reviews. I will film a couple pulls. It's just right now I need to let that silicone dry, so I don't want to mess with it anymore because it did twist a little bit. So we'll probably film that on another video. So just bring out the draggy, see what it does. And as always, make sure to check out Alex's new channel. So full and detail installs. So it'll be, I think he's gonna focus on more than forge, but more than likely it's gonna be forge because that's what we have. Subscribe to his channel. So it's gonna be kind of the same content, but his is gonna be full and detail, descriptive installs, and mine's gonna be the short synopsis, you know, before and after kind of situation. So as always, thanks for watching. Bye.